Ya oke guys, di semuanya kembali bersama ya di channel Kanan City. Oke, kali ini kita akan melanjutkan game Honkai Starrail ya teman-teman. Kita akan melanjutkan petualangan Trailblazer di Amphorios. Tapi sebelum mulai, mau bahas, kita lanjut dulu ya. Ini cuma event utama ya, biasalah event anniversary gitu ya. Lalu ini juga kayak event ini kayak apa ya, game tycoon gitu ya, yang mana kita harus bangun-bangun, bikin bangunan, terus upgrade, naikin level, tadi buat sebenarnya cuma gini doang, tapi seru kok, kena dipandang. Yang gue suka dari sini tuh guys, yang karakter TV-nya ini kan dia ngambil dari ini semuanya, video-video video klip Honkai Starrail yang ini, yang keeping up with Starrail ya. Nah, karakter TV-nya ngambil dari sini semua. Udah dijadikan konten di sini. Masih banyak nih, ini udah setengahnya ya gua buka ya. Show, tapi kalau cara Amphorios kayaknya nggak ada di sini. Mana guys? Ini masih baru ya, masih hangat kali. Terus di sini bisa ada fitur gachanya juga buat ngumpulin asisten. Ini langsung dapat parcel memori. Ini buat upgrade apa ya? Ya sama juga, sama nambah penghasilan ini ya. Ini foto yang aan. Nah ini dia, satu jumlah koin berurutan dari kecil ke besar adalah K, ribu, M, juta, B, miliar, T, triliun. Kemudian kombinasi huruf A, A, B, B, C, C, dan seterusnya. Jumlah satu berdekatan ada 1000 kali lipat. Nggak ada penjelasannya lagi. Ini lumayan gede nih, apalagi yang sampai C, C tuh. Udah berapa triliunan ya, aku lebih kaya nih. Terus bisa juga upgrade nih penelitian. Nah ini lumayan juga, upgrade-nya lumayan gede sih ini. Ini adalah Anaxa. Sebenarnya kalau ada event, ini event buat nambah bonus ya. Itu lautan kita. Sebagai pekerja di New Londinio, setelah bekerja selama puluhan tahun, kamu akhirnya menikmati pensiun dan terhormat. Pemerintah menyediakan satu pilihan baru untuk para pensiunan, dapat uang atau masuk ke apartemen yang bernama Cangkang dan menerima perawatan sosial. Apartemen akan menilai kontribusimu sama hidupmu dan memberikan perlakuan yang berbeda-beda. Dalam skenario terburuk, kamu tetap akan mendapatkan makanan dan pakaian. Iklan perusahaan menyatakan cukup untuk membawa orang tua kembali ke masa kecilnya. Tidak tinggal di apartemen, ambil uangnya dan hidup mandiri. Oke, mantap. Ini pun kecil tapi hangat dan nyaman. Ada barcode, ada hadiah. Kita bisa lihat juga teman kita guys. Nah ini lumayan gacor, udah sampai EE lagi dia. Kalau gua urutan 4 ya dari semua teman yang gua kumpulin. Nah, hadiah lain juga. Terus saya super positif kayaknya. Ini cocoknya kayak buat si Anaxa, soalnya kan si Anaxa kalau nggak salah skillnya dia bisa implant weakness gitu ya, tipe weakness. Tuh dia meningkatkan 80% attack pengguna untuk setiap maksudnya nih, untuk setiap satu tipe weakness berbeda akan meningkatkan 4%. Kalau yang super efficient 5, 8% ya. Nah, tergantung beberapa banyak tipe weakness yang ada ya pada musuh. Tadi kalau ada 7 ya kali 8 lah. 8 kali 7 berapa guys? Ya 7 kali 8 ya, 7 kali 6 42. 49 sorry ya, 49 ya, 49% damage tambahan dong. Tapi itu pun harus dapat semua tipe weakness ya. kita berpikir yang bisa implant gas kalau mau damage-nya lebih tinggi. Cocok buat si Anaxa nih. Apa ya, like on free to play. Udahlah, kita lanjut lagi. Baru sadar baterainya tinggal 10%, buset. Jadi selama 3 patch kita baru sadar guys, ternyata MC itu alias kita ya udah mati gitu ya. Kita harus lihat sudut pandang. Nih kali ini masih di artnya si Anaxa ya, berhadapan dengan para senat.
Be grateful for all this clamor. That is the sound of thoughts clashing.
Maaf, Alex, dikit pulang.
Isn't that the dromas draped in finery?
Avoid his gaze. I don't acquaint myself with blasphemers.
Don't worry. He's too full of pride to pay us any attention.
Your nickname is Dromus as well? You must really like those creatures.
Betul ya.
A student of Empedocles? I hear that his views run counter to the Venerationists.
This is what being a scholar is about. A collision of ideas only occurs when there are differences in beliefs, and it is such collisions that lead to progress.
Kita semakin dekat dengan Titan Kepada.
Lord Lygus and Lady Kindness are just ahead.
Okay.
I'll take my leave for now.
Welcome to the Demigod Council, esteemed guests.
Lord Anaxagoras, I've heard so much about you. Head of the Nusporists of the Grove of Epiphany, notorious blasphemer, a Chrysos heir who bears Circe's core flame, a survivor of the Grove calamity. Did I miss anything? Well, if so, please be so kind as to enlighten me.
Since Lady Kindness is already well acquainted with me, I won't waste any effort introducing myself again. But then again, perhaps the customs are different here. Back in my hometown, there is a form of etiquette known as honoring guests. The host will welcome their guest with warm hospitality by treating them to fine wine and a cozy bed. And yet, ever since I arrived, I have not been welcomed with warm courtesy or ceremonial gifts. Instead, I am met with intense scrutiny. Even more absurd, the host has sharpened their blade and instructed their servants to lie in wait in the shadows. Perhaps you intend to cut open my heart, retrieve the core flame, and then hold a grand feast for all of the guests.
Everyone, stand down.
Thank you for understanding. I am but a feeble scholar who is not used to the stench of avarice and blood.
No need to be humble, my lord. From my perspective, your courage and gumption are worthy of the reputation of the Seven Sages. Your bravery is more than adequate to accomplish our...
So, you wish to start a war?
Well, since the Chrysos heirs are calling for war, we will respond in kind. Conflict is inevitable. Since Aglaya endeavors to suppress the virtuous commoners with blood of gold, we will not hesitate to display the rights and mettle the citizens of Akama are so entitled. As to your question of whether peace is still a viable option, well, to that I can only say this. Everything hinges on the next citizens' assembly and whether they have a sudden epiphany amid the clamor of the masses. And since you, as a Chrysos heir, accepted our invitation, you have indeed given us a glimmer of hope.
What brazen arrogance. What you're saying right now is worlds apart from what you were saying before you retired your cleaners.
I don't deny it. After all, they're responsible for cleaning up any threats, and just a moment ago, you were on the side of the Chrysos heirs. But now that you're an ally of ours, we can continue talking somewhere else. As you know, these walls have ears. I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to discuss a treatise about the Venerationists with your teacher, Empedocles. Yet, it seems you subscribe to the Nusporists instead, Lord Anaxa. I've heard that this school of thought is one with many detractors.
It's normal for ideas to have supporters and dissenters, just like how there are two types of people in this world, geniuses and dimwits.
Ini ya tempatnya. Apa yang besar gini nih? Bagus banget.
Welcome back to the hub of the Demigod Council, Lord Anaxagoras. Surely you remember that countless eloquent orators have stood in this spot before and emerged victorious by stoking public sentiment with their words. And yet there have also been innumerable blasphemous philosophers who set themselves up for failure because they refused to defend their action. This tiny stage is the most profound embodiment of Akama in centuries. In 15 days, this site shall also become the most important, as well as the final turning point in Akama's history. May the both of us carry out our duties with honor and lead the masses back toward the Era Chrysia, a golden age with no death, strife, or trickery.
Oh my, 15 days and nights. That aligns perfectly with the date of your demise. Could such a coincidence truly exist?
Using death to prove myself fits my intentions perfectly.
What strong conviction you have, as expected of the hero who dared to stand up to the Gold Weaver.
As expected, she misunderstands you.
That's enough, Lady Kindness. Dispense with the niceties. I only accepted your invitation so that I can serve the commoners alongside the members of the Council of Elders.
Well, you say that now, but surely you also require my aid as well, so that you can stay alive even when being pursued by the Golden Thread?
You worry too much. She won't show her hand too freely, as she still needs to garner support from the masses at the Citizens' Assembly.
Even someone like me can tell that only a sliver of her humanity remains.
Jahat ya guys.
Surely you're not asserting that she will definitely act in a rational manner.
As you're no doubt aware, Aglaya covets the core flame that I possess, which makes it the bargaining chip that allows me and the rest of you to negotiate with her. However, in return, I'll need the Council of Elders to support me as much as possible. You're well aware how valuable Cersei's core flame will be in the Era Chrysia that you are desperately pursuing. Talk is cheap, so you'd better act prudently as well.
I understand. After all, this battle of wits is just a means for each party to acquire what they need. As long as your request is reasonable, the Council of Elders never shortchanges its allies. Since we're both intent on mutual cooperation, let's not mince words and just speak plainly to each other. Let us decide how much we can secure for ourselves and how much we're willing to sacrifice, like true philosophers, with our words and wisdom. Continuing from the earlier topic, let us discuss our common enemy, Aglaya. She is the second most experienced Chrysos heir across the whole of Akama, who has gradually lost her humanity to the ravages of time and the ablation of the core flame. A formidable opponent indeed. Admittedly, there is ample reason for her to take your life. Yet your previous reasoning is quite sound. As a seasoned political animal, it's unclear whether she will actually cross that irreversible boundary. Moreover, she still needs you alive so that the Titan's trial can be completed. Is there anyone present who can swear by the sacred vow of Kepada and guarantee that you weren't in league with that woman before coming here? Are you just trying to pull the wool over our eyes?
I believe you're aware of Castorus the Executioner. Long before I returned to Akama, Aglaya had already dispatched her to monitor me. If I weren't able to reach this place in time, I would have been forced to meet Thanatos first. As compared to a comprehensive plan with uncertain results, if you decide to cut open my chest and remove the core flame, wouldn't that settle her nerves even more? Everything is in place. She just needs the right timing.
I understand what you mean. At the very least, the both of us agree that this tyrant who wallows in extravagance and greed is the greatest threat to achieving peace in Akama. The Council of Elders is willing to defend your right to live, just as we defend every oppressed citizen. However, I regret to say that sentiments in favor of the Chrysos heirs and Aglaya are only growing in magnitude. The peace that we are aspiring toward, as well as everything that we hold dear, will tell me. What are you willing to do for our esteemed citizens so that they can vanquish the enemies of our fine city?
Misalnya kalau aku jadi Anaxa ya, pasti jawabnya
Although the circumstances are rather unfortunate from an objective point of view, it is an undeniable fact that ever since the Grove was attacked, I have become the de facto leader of the Grove. The Council of Elders needs more backing if it wishes to topple Aglaya, and it's evident that the Academy wields considerable influence. At the very least, I have served as the Grove's special envoy to Akama for a significant amount of time. Of course, this also means that I will hold a crucial vote at the Citizens' Assembly.
In the name of Kepada, Akama thanks you for your sincere and valuable thoughts. At this stage, it's clear that you and I understand the benefits to be won from this discussion. Let me put it plainly. The Council of Elders has always been renowned for its fairness, and the Council of Elders has vowed to all citizens of Akama that it will always remain loyal to them. As for you, my lord, how will you guarantee that you will be able to live up to such earnestness and will not betray Akama's indomitable citizens when the opportunity presents itself?
Surely you jest. My loyalty does not need to be proven. The fact that the Council of Elders is asking for proof of my loyalty is itself akin to a form of betrayal.
I am incredibly honored to have witnessed the both of you bury the hatchet in a civilized manner. However, as the Theoros, I have observed the following. Lady Aglaia, the Gold Weaver, is currently on her way to Dawncloud.
Oh. Well, I do believe that we might have a slight...
Feeling dissatisfied, Lady Kindness? Despite the Council of Elders' lofty residence on Dawncloud, it must still tolerate the whims of the Chrysos heirs.
So you were holding back just now. Seems like you are better at playing this game than I. In any case, I'm glad that she's arriving here. So tell me, Anaxagoras, now that you're an ally of mine, if Aglaia were to demand that I hand you over, what should I do?
You can do as she says. Tell her that the Council of Elders merely wished to chat with me and had no intention of offending her. However, by doing so, the authority of the Council of Elders will be as thin as papyrus that has been soaked in blood. Not only can it be destroyed at the slightest touch, no, more like 2 core flames. After all, at the next Citizens' Assembly, that young lady who is synonymous with death will also be standing on our side.
Oh? How can you be sure of that?
Is that of importance to you? All you need to know is that I have a plan. In my opinion, you should be more worried about the impending threat. If Aglaia can seize me in full view of the masses today, she could also dismiss the entire Council of Elders in one fell swoop tomorrow. If that happens, the discussion that we've just had will turn into an utter joke instead. Is this the outcome that you wish to see, Lady Kindness?
Fine. I will handle this matter appropriately. But you do best to remember this. Fool the people and karma will be on your tail. I'll overlook it this time, but don't count on there being a next time. Unless, of course, you crave cruel punishment and consider suffering the perfect state to ponder the true nature of souls.
Well, what do you know? That happens to be one of my rare talents.
We shall see, then.
I've got to say that you've managed to really impress me again. But shouldn't you be going after more?
Dying to know what I'm after.
I mean, I'm the reason Titan after all. It is in me to ask and seek answers.
Easy there. You'll learn the answers soon enough. I didn't bring it up with her purely because she doesn't have the means to give me what I truly want. It's as they say, onlookers see most clearly. The true masters of Dawncloud have always been the Theoros, who watches over everything.
An expected visitor. Welcome once again. You know, you could actually skip all the pointless debate and come straight to me to seek an audience with Kepada. I have no reason to refuse you, do I?
You may not, but Kindness has. Whoever gets hold of Kefali's core flame will get to rule over Akama. She's wary of me, so naturally I had to gain her trust. I would say that debate was not at all pointless.
Very true.
In my view, this individual has gone to great lengths to get close to Kepada. He might very well be plotting something nefarious against the Titan. Are you still willing to let him pass, knowing this?
Yes, very much so. All living creations are always free to visit Kefali's transcendent vessel. This comes with being the world-bearer.
How convenient it is to be able to hear what they say.
It is truly my honor to speak to a venerated Titan in person. Please, go ahead. Let me join you both on this journey. Oh, a bygone myth tells of an occasion where carefully once answered their followers' questions on the peak of the holy mountain. Their followers have since believed that scaling this Titan cliff is one way of being with the god.
Hear that? It's not every day that you get to climb a mountain with Circes. You should sing me a hymn of praise.
Titan hymns are beyond me.
Go on ahead. Take this Iannis shortcut, and the long pilgrimage stairway will be waiting for you at its end.
I have to admit, I never expected you to not ask me anything.
Because I know very well what it is you are after. As the saying goes, a gentleman helps others achieve their goals. I believe carefully will not deprive you of your right to ask your question, especially now that you're on the brink of death. You must be closer to carefully than anyone else.
I hope things go as you say, then.
Putting a child of justice into a farcical world is bound to turn it upside down. It is my hope that you bring a much-needed change to this world which is on the brink.
Jauh betul hampir sana.
Honestly, this is my first time going up to Dawn Cloud's peak.
What a splendid view. Isn't it about time you recognize the magnificence of us Titans?
Well, I don't see how this place is different from those temples in the city. All they have are magnificent facades. And even though I've come this far, I'm still doubtful about getting useful clues from him.
I must be getting ahead of myself to be expecting to hear something nice from you.
Oh? Haven't you been in my head for some time now? It's high time you get used to how I feel about things. All right, we're just a short hike away from Kepada. No time to waste here.
So the intellectual debate from earlier was too draining for you, huh? If Amphorius gets a new lease on life, you should focus on strengthening your body and stop shirking social interactions.
Save your concern.
The Titan is in sight. Can you make it?
Why? Are you going to carry me up if I were to fall now? I know how far I can go, so just hold your tongue and come along.
Fine then. I guess I won't say any more. I'll just wait till your soul dissipates completely to gain control over your body.
Wait. Is that Circes? Hey, look at that.
Huh? What should I be looking at?
Am I hallucinating? Or do we even get to see souls when we're close to dying?
Sampai ke dalam. Jalan ujungnya jauh kali, buset. Oh, ini kita udah paling dekat nih.
Oh, why didn't you bring your favorite spear with you on this trip, Nias?
Nias. I know I've heard this name.
It's unfortunate. The Black Tide destroyed every last inch of my calyx.
How could that be? Even a creation of Georios, from their prized ores and molten fire, couldn't escape the fate of destruction.
Hey, Cersei's. Do you know a certain Nias?
Nias? No, not that I remember. How did you even think up such a strange name?
I just saw him. Nias. A warrior-like figure who was just chatting with you here.
No, I have no such memory. Could you be hallucinating?
This is a departed spirit.
Dalam keparatifan. Ini adalah platform sejarah yang disediakan khusus untuk para pengikut sejarah. Dan kamu, Anaxa Boras, tidak pernah berlutut di hadapan dewa-dewa palsu. Ini apa nih? Lift terbang, no? Wow, keren. Nah, Ampori sudah canggih. Kira kayak masih abad pertengahan.
Enough about me. Did Kaos ever reply to you?
Well...
Seems like the price of becoming a demigod is a lot heftier than we thought.
Kaos. Demigod. I've never heard of this person. Which Titan's authority did he inherit?
Look on the bright side, Nias. Since we've come all this way, I doubt he'd snub his old friends, would he?
Let's just hope we mean as much as the world to him.
Hey! Are you seeing that same hallucination again?
Yes. It's still you and Nias, but you're now talking about a certain Kaos. I'm guessing he's one of your companions?
Kaos? This name sounds just as strange to me.
Never mind. I think I know what this is about. If things are as I thought, then they aren't the souls of people.
What? But if those are the souls of the dead, then what am I?
Beats me. For all I know, you're just an illusion I conjured up in my dying moments. Let's just keep going. As long as I take in more sights and hear more stories.
Know your limits. Wander too far among the dead, and even I might not be able to save you.
I'm fine. If this... I suppose I can just ignore this.
Ada tangan Starrail dia. Cobalah, coba deh. Tahu kita keliling dulu ntar ya. Tangan Starrail tadi gitu. sesuatu. Pakai betul video kok ke wilayah. Fuck you. Dan salah pencet. Jadi terletak ngambang di situ.
So,
can you keep going?
Of course. I'm just... If I knew we had to climb a mountain, I wouldn't have come along with you.
I guess this also counts as one aspect of the world-bearing burden. If Amphorius does have an ex-life, you may want to get your body in shape.
Keep your sarcasm to yourself.
I'm not getting anything of value from them.
I would sooner throw myself off this cliff and hit rock bottom than exercise even a little. I am Calypso of the eminent Seven Sages, after all. Training would make me no different from those Helcalithist barbarians.
Oh, gua pernah dengar nama ini.
Calypso. She's one of the Seven Sages. A member of the Grove? No, she can't be. I would know her name if she really were one of the Seven Sages.
Calypso mah nama samaran nih. Iya sih, inilah.
Hey, Cersei. Does the name Calypso ring a bell? Cersei?
Nama samarannya Cersei.
Doesn't matter. I can do
yang waktu kita ketemu dia di grup split ya.
Looks like I'm nearly there now. The land of the...
Oh, beautiful old world. Where are you now? Oh, legendary era Chrysia, return to the mortal realm. Splendid gods once walked the paths we walk. Alas, all that's left of that warmth is a hazy mirage.
Why are you chanting that too? We're here, finally. So, I don't get to ask the Titan my question, but all of you make for a pleasant surprise. None the very well then. Let me uncover the truth. Did I still fail to make it, huh? So, I'm back here again. This is... I can hear it.
Kembali lagi nih.
I hear it from the depths of the tides, behind the closed doors of the void world. A voice ready to tell me something. This time, the voice is a lot clearer than before.
Since we've come this far, let's just wait.
Lord Nias and Miss Calypso, are you both here to visit Chaos too?
Yes, and we've been waiting for quite some time now.
Regrettably, he hasn't answered us. The worst-case scenario is that he's already been overwhelmed and crushed by the world-bearing burden.
You're overthinking, Lord Nias. I can still sense Chaos' soul in the area. And besides, we both know Chaos' nature. A deliverer like him wouldn't fall so readily, much less...
Yes, I have faith in him.
That reminds me. Why are you making this trip alone, Polixia?
Polixia? Bukan Polixia.
Oh, My sister needs more time to make sure the flowers are fine.
Such a pity. Both of you have hearts kinder than anyone else. Yet you are born only to take over Thanatos' divinity.
Everything that I see and hear this time has left me shaken to the core. What may seem like a mundane conversation is in truth a once-in-a-lifetime exchange that has revealed the ultimate answer to Cersei's question. The conjecture has taken shape and must now be solidified into a theorem. Next, I only need to seek verification from Kepada. By doing so, I can answer Cersei's question and reclaim my body. But no, I will not do that. That isn't important, because another one of my conjectures, one that I have always dreamed of proving, fusing a mortal soul with that of a Titan to replace said Titan, is not a ludicrous idea after all.
Iya. Mungkin mana kedangan.
What are you thinking about? Is that so? You don't look the slightest bit amazed, though. Plus, you seem to be strangely familiar with the city around the Great Tree.
Siapa tadi bilang? Sangat familiar di kota di sekitar pun besar. Oh ya, Mount Ambrosial itu ya.
Events of the past, huh? I was
Pokoknya
also a
di kampung
child when I
halamannya
looked
itu
up at
William
Cersei's.
tuh.
Their leaves and branches reflected the sparkling stars, and their trunk was like a pillar that supported the sky and ground. I stood at this very spot back then, imagining the day when I could climb to the top of this tree. Don't read too much into it. I mean, can mortals even hope to reach Aquila's realm? They're a strict and draconian god, nothing like Cersei's. Reason is willing to share what is theirs with others, but Sky only expects people to revere them. You get what I'm saying, right, Denny? After all, the titan that imprisoned you and Grey here in Amphorius is none other than Aquila themselves. But there will always be people who dream of soaring towards the sky. The Grove has a wealth of research on Aquila, and that is exactly what we are here for. It's just, I never thought Grey would meet with something like that before we set off. As a physician, I should have been there by his side.
Gimana tahu?
Yeah, there's no rest for the weary, huh? In any case, what we're looking for could be anywhere in this enormous grove. Let's split up to cover more ground. Danny, with your skills, I'm sure those monsters born of the Black Tide will pose no threat to you anyway. Have you forgotten that you're talking to the chief physician of the Twilight Courtyard? Have more faith in me. I'll be just fine.
Cara untuk meninggalkan Amphorius. tentang Titan Emporio. Kondisi aku bed. Kita melihat yang Titan dan Aeon. Bisa dibilang lebih mirip manusia. Oke. Keturunan Crisis dan lain. Ya kan, sudah cukup berpikirnya. Ganteng trial. Mau di sudut pakan, kirain bisa teleport. Hitam eksplosif. Nyawanya telah lenyap menjadi abu bersama jiwanya. Tidak ada cara untuk mengenali wujudnya saat masih hidup.
This will strengthen our position.
Apaan nih? Baru mulai kok ada tuh. Yasin kenapa dia keliling banyak monster? Meskipun aku percaya pada tapi mungkin lebih baik bantu dia.
Really now? This is way more trouble than I could have asked for.
Lu bantuan.
Or you could sit back and watch.
Cih, sombong kali.
I'm kidding, Danny. Lend me a hand, pretty please. All right, now let's get him.
Watch your head. No dirty tricks, all right?
Wadah, tatnya positif juga.
It's on me.
Commencing support.
Another journey.
Enemy data secure. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack.
Fighting is meaningless.
The dice have been cast. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Iya,
The Black Tide is remarkably quick to detect the light of Amphorius. So or rather, the blessings of the Sky Priest in me, might have unknowingly called them to me. Anyway, never mind that for now. Here, you might want to have a look at this. I found it around here and thought it might be of interest to you. This is new. I didn't know Professor Anaxa was researching the sky. He's never mentioned anything about it. Might is an understatement. Anaxa has never been one to venerate the gods, nor has he ever found it within himself to put any faith in the prophecy. People have come to think of him as a heretic. Yet, it is also this very blasphemer that Cersei's favors. Fate sure works in mysterious ways. Oh, let me have a look. By the looks of them, these scrolls are records of two conversations that took place in the same setting. One... Sure, go ahead.
Kemudian itu siapa?
The Grove of Epiphany is home to 7 schools of thought. While all 7 schools are founded on the ideologies of Thalesis, the first scholar, each is unique in its own way. As the sage of the Venerationists, Euthyphro has always been at loggerheads with Anaxa. If we were to place the 7 sages on the scales of Talanton, Anaxa and Euthyphro would be placed on opposite sides to achieve balance. Nearly everyone in Amphorius has heard the story of the skyships by now. Aquila's stature is loftier than the heavens, and their divine retribution is merciless. That's why it's no use building giant skyfaring ships. Oh, but I do wonder if a supercharged mini Treaty cannon could slip past their watch. Newsporists primarily study the application of everyone considers Anaxa a blasphemer. Anaxa often says that every fate, perhaps, to him, the crash of the skyship carries a different interpretation. The firmament is not impenetrable. On the contrary, it was precisely because the skyship represented the first step toward breaking free from the shackles of the earth that it provoked the wrath of the Sky Titan and brought divine punishment upon itself. It's a shame that the majority of the Grove's research on Aquila was headed by the Venerationists, with sacrificial rituals making up a predominant part of their findings. That's what I'd like to know. What are these experiments he's involved in? Even I, the assistant lecturer, know next to... I have a bad feeling about this. Could there be more to what happened at the Grove? This is the Library of Philia, a place where the Grove stores its collection of tomes. Other than books written by the 7 schools, you can also find philosophical texts, ballads, and religious writings from the Outlands here. We've had more than our fair share of hilarious episodes over the years. For instance, it's said that the Erythrocheramists once borrowed a manuscript from a certain author, but ended up returning a copy instead of the original. What's more, the original manuscript was supposedly then hidden here. Nice? No need to hold yourself back, Danny. You can just tell it like it is. Their behavior was no different from bandits. Whew, you've got me there. Some said you couldn't even find a dictionary in Castrum Kremnos, so I guess they were spared. There are too many books in the Library of Philia. Flipping through them all will take too long. Why don't we use the Biblioslate to search for the texts we need? We can bring them back to Akama for reading after that.
Tiga saya berhasil gerakan kekerasan. Cara menang dapat terakhir paling kekerasan.
It's so dusty in here. Whoa. Are these all complaints about him? I can already see what they must have written. Anaxa has no respect for the gods. His very existence undermines order in our society. They're probably all things like that. Why else would they call him the Great Performer? When Anaxa established his school of thought, the first thing he apparently did was read his own work to everyone. Are the Titans truly an accurate reflection of what humans think gods should be? Worlds created by gods are indubitably perfect, but what of Amphorius? Only foolishness and insensitivity everywhere you turn. They marched him straight to the seat of judgment before he could finish. Though what he took on in the end was more of a debate than an actual trial. He had to address every one of the scholar's allegations, or face the first allegation was... Do you agree that since the Titans created the heavens and earth, so the mountains, rivers...
Aku tidak setuju.
Anaxa said the same thing then.
What?
Needless to say, his critics didn't take kindly to his answer, so they followed up with a second allegation. You claim to be studying souls, yet you are, in fact, defiling them and committing acts condemned by the gods. Do you admit it? Anaxa always wears an eye patch, never removing it, even when alone. Some say used one of his eyes as an alchemical ingredient. Every being in the world owes their safekeeping to Kepada, and this is even more so for the Chrysos heirs who have divine blood coursing through them. If he has really done something of that nature, then it'd indeed be sacrilegious. Thankfully, they had no way to prove it, so it amounted to nothing more than an allegation in the end. One by one, Anaxa engaged in wars of words against those who would challenge him. Toward the end, a scholar asked him, "Anaxagoras, have you any respect for the gods?" It was only after a brief silence that he answered, "I have never denied that titans are meant to be noble constructs." Yes, I'm not sure how that controversy was eventually resolved, but what's for certain, at least, is that Anaxa was allowed to stay in the grove where he continued his research. Despite, by the way, this stack of complaint letters has reminded me of a place in the grove. We may find clues there that aren't on the teleslate. I'm talking about Anaxa's alchemy lab, hidden between the cornerstones. It's a well-kept secret. Among the 7 sages, excluding the nominal chief sage, each has a private sanctuary where they can conduct research undisturbed in their free time. Even the administrators of the Library of Philia are restricted from accessing those places and documenting the sage's research. But with the grove in this state, I'm sure Anaxa won't be mad even if we sneak into the lab for a short while. This is the place, but where is everything? Materials for alchemical experiments, matrix diagrams, and even the seal to the lab. They're all gone. Did the Black Tide destroy it all? No, not even close. Not only are alchemy experiments high-risk activities, but Professor Anaxa also has a penchant for using bizarre materials. Students often saw him walk in looking right as rain, but come out covered in soot with his hair. Huh? That bookshelf over there seems to be the only thing still intact.
Tunjuk nih. Terang nih.
What's going on? Anaxa is conducting research on our friends in Alchema and me?
Santai, Pak.
It wouldn't have been so strange if he had focused only on Cassie, given her own curiosity about her origins. Plus, considering that the new sporists have... now... It seems Anaxa's objective was never to create medicine. Danny, look at this. I have a bad feeling about this. My biggest fear. It's come true. After going through his notes, I think I can piece it all together now. Anaxa was carrying out experiments on soul transmutation.
Transfer jiwa.
Yes, this is what he was secretly conducting research on. Something he had to keep hidden from others. Compared to his public speeches, this is the real blasphemy. Oh, I just thought of something. Do you remember when the black tide was approaching? The Grove had planned to send Cersei's core flame to a safe place. But an accident happened along the way, and Anaxa lost his life in the process.
Cersei ngambil alih tubuhnya dan membangkitkan sehingga menyebabkan situasi saat ini.
That's right. But what if Professor Anaxa's fusion with the core flame of reason wasn't an accident? Put yourself in his shoes. Knowing that the black tide was closing in and your time was running out, what would you have done?
Teoriku apapun pengorbanannya.
Exactly. When the black tide came, the true reason Anaxa headed to the Luminary Throne was to transmute and fuse himself with the Titan's core flame.
Jadi maksudnya benih api Titan tuh sekarang si Anaxa sendiri ya? Apa dia berhasil?
No. Judging from how he reacted after the event, the results came as a surprise. Maybe he failed to consider the possibility that Cersei's would make a similar decision. The manuscripts detailing all the alchemical formulae have been taken away. His research is still ongoing. Like, what? There's only one Titan left in the world now. No. No way.
Apa sih dipikir?
He's after Kepada.
Dia sebenarnya dong. Gila. Mad scientist ini mah.
Sir, this sky above us, it's not real, is it?
Of course not. This is just an image from a projection device used for educational purposes. A simple trick. The day-night cycle has been lost to this world. So that students like you may still learn about the night sky, astronomers have harnessed the Titan's miraculous power to manipulate the light, projecting the nights of the past here for you. Much like how the sky above the Holy City is also illuminated by Kefali's dawn device.
So, the skies of Akama are fake too.
You mustn't conclude that, Anaxa. You should know that only a child would expose a trick and be proud of it. Often people know more than they let on. They simply choose to feign ignorance because they have no other choice.
Then they're just deluding themselves. People believe in Kefali's tale of Genesis, accepting wholesale whatever the priests preach. But we're different. We've already walked out of the firelit cave of ignorance. We have already realized that we live in a world where Titans make the rules. Even when we look at the sky, we're only seeing what they allow us to see. Rather than gazing at this mockery of a night sky fabricated by them for the rest of my life.
So much time has passed since you sowed the seeds of doubt in my heart, child. Many a night, I find myself penning down all my theories and wild ideas.
Why? Because we'll face death by burning if word gets out?
As a sage of the Venerationists, my soul has already become inextricably linked to the great tree. Every word I say and every move I make is certain to influence every leaf, every branch, even the tree itself. But above all else, my days are numbered. Instinctively, I have my doubts about the golden blood and the human soul, yet I have no means of verifying them. The golden blood...
I can, sir. I can do it for us. The time is right. Give me all that I need, and I shall accomplish this grand feat on your back.
You're right. I shall do just that. In the next meeting of the sages, I will spare no efforts fighting for the rights you deserve. Go. Establish your own school of thought. Find out what we are. Become the one who conquers the ultimate truths of the world.
Child of humanity, you didn't go to such lengths for an audience with Kefali. Just ask him a few questions.
So, you figured it out. If I were as foolish as a Dromus, perhaps I'd throw myself down and prostrate before their greatness, begging for the gods' prophetic wisdom. Well, sorry to disappoint, but I'm no Dromus. Alas, I am a human, standing tall on 2 feet, possessing both intellect and pride.
Before such power, does it make any difference whether you're a human or a Dromus?
I'm sure you're familiar with the story of the Styxians. When the raging waves threatened to swallow them, they didn't just give up and become sitting ducks. No. They constructed a dam that kept the roaring tide at bay, chaining down the mad Fagusa. They call me a blasphemer, Xerxes. But that doesn't mean I deny the existence of gods. It's just, as I see it, Titans are simply a force that mankind has yet to find a way to tame.
Yeah.
Oh? If power that rivals the Titans is what you crave, why not conform to the prophecy and brave the trial?
Why stop at harnessing the power of the Titans when I can do so much more? The source of life is what I wish to grasp, to understand what makes up the soul, and to learn what we really are. Thanks to you, I've had the chance to personally verify, in more ways than one, that the soul indeed ceases to exist in death. But where there is death, there is life. And how then is a soul born? That was the only unknown variable left in my calculations.
And by the sound of it, you have already formed a conjecture.
No, I have already drawn a conclusion. In my journey unto death just now,
Professor Anaxa. I'm here. His life hangs by a thread. I must ask you to refrain from taking any unnecessary steps.
Of course. I'll bring this to a conclusive end and give you the answer you so desire. However, in accordance with the principle of equivalent exchange,
As you wish.
Don't you care to know what the price might be?
It's a matter of uncovering the truth about the Death Titan and his survival. This may be the only time I can ever save someone's life. There is no need for me to think twice.
I see. In that case, let the show begin.
Indulge me. Am I correct to say that you intend to prove Thanatos' whereabouts and prove the nature of our existence now?
Before I begin, I must confess I had been stuck in a cognitive trap all this time. As unrelated as these two propositions may seem at first glance, they are in fact logical equivalents. They are mere. The reason I say this is, as I've mentioned earlier, the answer was hidden in my journey unto death.
Anaxa, you were in the Netherrealm?
Yes, I am but a living dead man now. But that's not important. What truly matters is, I overheard a conversation between heroes. That's not all. Remember how I said you were a part of that conversation too, Circes?
And I've told you that I have no recollection of such an event. That was likely just an illusion conjured up by the mind of a dying man.
Of course you would remember. Because that wasn't you. That was Calypso. One of the 7 sages of the Grove.
Calypso?
Huh? Oh, that's the name I made up on a whim when speaking to this girl. How do you know of it? And surely you jest. Don't you think I, of all people, would know if that were the name of one of the 7 sages under the shade of my tree? Don't you claim to know the Grove's past like the back of your hand?
It seems you've lost even the memories seared into your soul. Use your head, Circes. Since all of this took place in the realm of the dead, it stands to reason their likenesses are of souls from the past. The living cannot step foot into that world, so who could they be? Think about Calypso. Why does she share your likeness, yet you have no idea who she is? The answer is evident, is it not? Those fallen heroes are the mortal incarnations of the Titans before their ascensions to godhood. The gods aren't master creators born out of thin air, and they are no different from humans, because they all evolved from one. Does this answer disappoint you?
Jawabannya.
Yes, because you've answered nothing. If I truly was once human, as you claim, then where do the children of humanity come from?
Even on the off chance that you speak the truth, this brings us no closer to grasping Thanatos' whereabouts.
I knew you would say that. But it matters not. I know what I'm doing. Actually, why don't we have this supreme being standing before us tell us everything?
You can revive a Titan?
Humans cannot return from the dead. Neither can gods. But all we need to do is look at this from a different perspective, and the problem will resolve itself. The solution is simple. If I'm reborn as Kepada, I can rebuild the world and all within it as they once did. Simple, is it not?
I have news from Hyacinth and Dan Heng. Anaxa might be trying to do something with Kepha's divine body.
Kepada? But what could Anaxa want? Is the Council of Elders going to sit around and let such a sacrilegious act unfold?
That is not possible. He is indeed the great performer, capable of fooling anyone and everyone with his trick.
I'm sorry.
No need for guilt, for this is good news to us. The Council of Elders has found themselves a traitorous ally. Anaxa's ambitious desires will be something we can exploit. What we should be doing now is to keep our eyes peeled for whichever trickery Kindness is up to, and react accordingly to thwart her plans. Being Akima's political center, the Demigod Council holds just as much significance as the Vortex of Genesis. Someday, after my duty is over, this site will take the place of the battlefield where you hunt gods, become the next challenge you are to overcome. Till then, it's best to get used to this place as soon as possible.
Sudah gitu apa-apa panggil saja kami.
Preposterous! The Christos heirs only have their standing because of the Council of Elders. How dare they trample over it?
Wow, tetap orang-orang kita mengikuti kau.
It's been a while.
Lolek dari Starrail.
What is that supposed to mean? Is this really the sort of person that the young lord praised as a ferocious warrior?
It has indeed been some time, Lord Krateros. What brings you here in such haste?
Shh, keep it down. Be more vigilant. See those duplicitous dogs over there? They do the dirty work for Kindness. I've already ordered my people to hold them back, but we should still lay low. Unless you're itching for a bloody fight to get a workout in.
My bad. So, did something happen?
Did you hear thunderclaps last night?
Oh, hacker datang, akhirnya kita selamat.
Hacker? What?
He's been through a lot lately. Please pardon him. Can you tell us more about these thunderclaps?
Thunderclaps are beacon signals of strife. They are a message from the young lord. He threw a spear bearing several words at Akama.
Watch out. The Flame Reaver is back.
I guessed as much. We didn't actually kill them back at the Kremnos Arena.
I figured this is something you would want to know. We Kremnoans never back down from a fight. So if you plan to take that thing down in a battle, reach out to me anytime.
You have my gratitude. I will let Aglaya know about this right away.
Remind her to be on her toes while you're at it. That vicious Kindness has been unusually active lately. Those lackeys she keeps under cover have been going in and out of the city a lot more frequently these days. Some even seem to be getting Kremnoans to defect to the council.
That's...
Looks like you can see it for yourself.
We should get back. Thank you for the intel, Lord Krateros.
Kayaknya gua intro sampai sini ya guys. Nanti kita lanjutkan aja di part berikutnya ya. Oke, sebagai penutup gua ucapkan terima kasih kepada kalian yang sudah menonton video ini dan sampai jumpa di video berikutnya. Dah.